GM Farcaster. It is a very happy Friday, August 23rd, and you are here with Nounish Prophet Adrian for 29 minutes of Farcaster news to start your day. And we actually hit the time the other day for the first time in a long time. So maybe we can do it again. You never know. So going to start with our backgrounds today because we have some fun ones. So going to start there. This, oops, helps if I put it on the screen. There we go. This is Higher FM behind me, and this was from Chic Bangs, and Higher FM is going live tomorrow. Very exciting, and this was a cast. There have been signs. So this is really cool. Something about this image was just amazing. So really excited for you, and that's wearing my hat for you. So good luck, Chic. We love you, and I know it's going to be amazing. Very excited for it. And I think like the idea is like, old style radio show where you're playing music and then talking with different folks. And I believe this first one involves Light, who's an incredible artist, who is one of the founders of Hire. So that will be incredible. So really looking forward to that. And behind you this is from Seymour TV, and Cameron launched a fun improvement for Seymour Insights today, introducing the Seymour Visualizer. Connect your Farcaster to Seymour, and you'll get a cast cloud every week along with your DC insights so you can share what you cast about. Follow Seymour Bot to make sure it gets delivered. And this was pretty cool. So I like that. Now, is the one behind you his, or did you do it your own? It's his.
Yes,
okay.
this is Cameron's behind me. By the way, who doesn't love a word cloud? If it were mine, you would just see live stream. GM Farcaster. GM. I've done the cast or bot action lately. When I first started doing it, it would talk about like maybe I cast about DevOps, or now it's just like casts about live stream. Like, yeah, I do.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Mine said this. I was just going to say that my last bot or not wasn't very kind. It was like I forget how I put it, but basically like that I mindless GMs. I think it was something like that. Mindless GMs, and it wasn't really wrong, but I think I'm mindful. I think my GMs are mindful, demure, if you will.
Exactly.
Not mindless at all. Anyway, moving on, we do have some other things happening, and this is a big one. Base names. So grabbed our base name. So, and this is the gmfarcaster.base.eth, and there have been 72,274 names registered within less than 36 hours. So over 72,000 builders have claimed their base name in less than 36 hours. This is from Jesse. Not without bumps. This from Chris Corella. Plot twist. I am now cccorella.base.eth. Big thanks to Miss Karina for the help. Go follow her. This is because he had casted I am not corella.base.eth. Similar to my I am not nounishprof.base.eth, because I'm going to guess the same person who took Chris's probably took Nounish Prof is my guess. But actually my usual ENS that I do use is the Nounish Prof. So I just threw that one in there. Just letting you know, if you are the squatter on nounishprof.base.eth, I'll gladly take it from you. Might give you a little degen tip, but I won't pay for it. Like, don't try to extort me. I don't care that much. So this goes in the don't do this channel. Don't do this. But there's always that person who does this with domain names and ENS names and all the things. So we should not be surprised by this at all.
Do you know how I feel about squatters?
How do you feel about squatters?
I hate squatters more than I hate long casts. So.
Oh my goodness, that's a lot. More than I hate fruit?
It's Friday. But obviously you like a little fruit, right?
No, once again.
No. Eat an apple. Who doesn't like an apple? Okay, so
oh my God.
do you know that C. Corella got his name? Did you follow the drama about, and I was really trying to figure out because, yes, bad squatters came and picked up all these names. I am losing faith in humanity. It makes me really sad. But also always has been. So what do we expect? But I was trying to figure out because they also got Matayos, and apparently what happened were, said squatters were giving back the names. It was like, oh, I was actually doing you a favor. I snagged it for you. Here you go. And I'm not I think they tried to get money for it. It was like, hey, you can buy it from me. And then when people said no, they were like, okay, here it is. They transferred the NFT, but they didn't actually transfer they didn't change where the address resolved to. There might have been an issue with setting that up. So what I was trying to figure out is like, oh, is this even like next level sinister? Where I'm giving you back the NFT, but funds will resolve back to me. Although in the end, by the end of the day, it actually, Matayo's last cast was he figured it out. It got resolved, all good. So now I think the timeline is still playing out, but it seems like some people have gotten their names.
Yeah, there's a lot of shady happenings. And I think there was quite a few. There was one person in particular, I saw this note, but I don't remember who casted it, that was picking up like folks in the nouns ecosystem and a bunch of them. So that's why I think whoever that was, it's probably the same person who grabbed Chris Corella's. But if not, like that person also probably has mine or whatever. But like, like you're not going to there's no way you're making a lot of money on this. First of all, like it's not that valuable. Like that's why it's like, I'll just do it's not a big deal.
Yeah.
Like it's my other ENS that I use all the time anyway. So.
And if you're trying to be the hero, like, okay, I bought this for someone else so that I can give it to them and then they're going to love me and reward me with all sorts of good praise and status. Like that doesn't work either.
No, it doesn't work.
Just let there be an open market of fair people. Can we do that?
Yeah, I know. Exactly. Yeah, totally agree.
So good point. Actually, just a few things from the chat. And it is a good point that these are all subdomains. So base.eth, there's a parent owner. So you I guess you do own your subdomain, but there still is someone controlling the overall owner that has ability to control squatters. I haven't done a ton of research into the subdomains. That seems logical to me, but if you care about self-sovereignty, then and full decentralization, you should get your own ENS.
Yeah, absolutely.
Not a base study.
That's a great point. And I hadn't thought about this, but we could even play with our GM Farcaster network ENS and add subdomains for our network people if they wanted to. But I hadn't thought about that. Yeah. And we do also have base, GM Farcaster network and GM Farcaster.base.eth. So fun.
And the other thing the audience wants to know, because we can't bring up fruit without people like really wanting to talk about it.
Yeah.
So what about a smoothie?
I know. Hold on. Let's back up for a second. We have to, we'll dive into this. I had this queued up. I just pulled it up like next. So, okay, this was from Zach. So I listened to this episode of GM Farcaster and there is so much great information to unpack, yet somehow the only thing I can focus on is the brief moment that I believe I heard Nanish Frau say that she doesn't like fruits and vegetables. Adrian didn't question it. That's what I thought was funny. And the conversation just kept moving. Nanish Frau, I need answers. This is just like episode 100. This is just like the mic drop moment that we did not expect when Dan said he didn't like fruit. And I said, me neither. And we kept going and people were like, wait, what? Like that's all anybody wanted to talk about. I'm like, we just did this fantastic first interview with both Varun and Dan together on a podcast, live, FarCon. All everybody wants to talk about is, did Dan just say he doesn't eat fruit? And the same thing yet again. So what about smoothies? Yes, I will have smoothies. I have a texture thing. I don't like the textures of fruit and vegetables. I'm sorry. I'm sorry to all the fruit and vegetable people all over again. Okay. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I'm going to answer this for Prof. So, will you eat a peach during peak peach season?
No.
And the answer is no, but I will eat a bushel because they are heavenly. Are you kidding me?
She will. No, I will not. There's also like an orange season where there's like these super amazing oranges down here, and also no. So Zach, no, sorry, no. And no vegetables. I really hate vegetables. Sasquatch made me eat a Brussels sprout one time and it was fine, but I'd rather not do that again if I don't have to. Also, I wanted to shout out this from Eric's. Has anyone created a timeline of important events throughout FC history? Things like first cast, permissionless milestones, DAO milestones, channel launches, frames launch, action launch, etc. Well, Eric, come close. We've been doing that for like almost a year. But you have to watch it in like individual episode videos. But also in the show notes of all these episodes are all those things that you just asked for. We do need a better way in which to search that, but someday I'm sure we can just attach a little AI thing and it'll just find all that fun stuff for you. But yeah. Yes. So I think the most overlooked or underrated thing about GM Farcaster is that we are an archive for everything that's happened in the past year. So that's pretty cool. So there you go. Oh my God.
Yeah. And it would be cool to
no salads either. Yeah, no salads.
That's what I'm saying. We bring up fruit or vegetables and we're going to try to talk about Farcaster news. And for the
no, it's all going to be about this now. So funny. Okay, let's try and move on. Oh, I think I lost Adrian. Adrian, are you there? Did I lose you? What happened? I hear you. I hear you clicking. Can you see me? Can you hear me? Can anyone hear Adrian? Let me know. I do like ketchup. I love ketchup. If we call that a fruit or vegetable, yes, I love ketchup. I'm going to continue on because I don't know. Adrian left to go eat some peaches. That might be it. I think that's exactly what happened. She got disturbed with my lack of fruits and vegetables and is currently offline. I can hear her though. I don't know why she can't hear me. So we'll just continue on.
Can you hear me? Can you hear me now?
I can hear you. Yes, I can hear you now, but I still can't see you.
Friends, hello. I think it was a bandwidth attack, and I just turned off my video to see if that saved some of it. I'll try to come back.
So just keep talking. We'll just listen to you. So we have this from Varun, Warpcast, faster video uploads. cmmalad.eth made video uploads faster. You should notice a 5 to 10 second improvement. It's rapidly approaching the speed you get on other social apps. The one big difference is that we need to make it happen in the background so you keep browsing the app while it uploads. So that's pretty cool. Excited to see that. This also from Varun. This is the big one for this week. We're proposing reducing the protocol fee from $3 to $2 as part of the storage extension FIP this week. The plan was to do this later, but it turns out it will be a lot easier to implement them together. If you have concerns, please reply or DM. I don't think anyone has concerns about cheaper. I don't think I've ever had anybody like go, you know what? No, we'd like you to charge us more. So I don't think anyone's going to have a problem with this, but I could be wrong.
Didn't they also reduce the storage amount? I
think so. In
which case, yeah. So maybe it's a right sizing. Maybe it's shrinkflation. But the answer is, Mary, I think we're kind of building the plane as we're flying it. And by we, I don't mean me.
And by we mean them.
Yeah.
We mean Merkel. Merkel and friends.
It's just things will change as we go and you got to kind of iterate. So sure, change sounds fine to me. And there's always opportunity in the GitHub, in the and on the feed to have conversations. So, and people do listen. So if you have thoughts and you're a developer,
Yeah, definitely jump on that
protocol design.
Yeah,
if you have thoughts on protocol design, jump in.
Yeah, for sure. This from Dan. If I own a channel that I'm not active in and you're active in, reply to this cast if you want to take it over. I have a bunch of channels assigned to me because I was the fallback admin. I may transfer it to you or not. Worth a shot. So shoot your shot. Eric had shot his shot on, I don't know which channel it was. Which channel was it? College football. Okay. So Eric wanted to take over college football. So good luck with that. We hope you do. And this also from Dan, the value of an FID is in the social graph, both stated, following, and revealed activity. Profile is secondary. There is minimal, no, value in the on-chain primitive absent the above. This is why digital identity is always emergent from apps with utility. If you spend a lot of time using an app, platform, OS, it starts to become your identity. Building an identity layer is the wrong order of operations. You earn the right to be an identity layer by time spent, usage, people building on it, etc. So I'm not sure I totally agree, but I kind of do as I think about it. So what are your thoughts on this? Is like the profile itself.
First, who's he subcasting? Number one. Yeah, who knows?
Good question.
Someone in the chat tell me. I totally know what he means now. And I'm just, it's if you're building a social network and you spend all the time giving people tools to kind of create their identity in a vacuum without connections, without being socially connected, it's like there's no value in it. I don't need that. The value becomes the graph is the value. It's the friends you make along the way.
The friends you make along the way.
And,
I do.
And then, and I think as a platform gets built out, your identity starts to, you get attached to the experience you're having on a platform. I mean, take Farcaster and think about how you feel now versus how you felt when you joined 2 years ago. Do you feel like, don't you have an identity now that's a little more attached to Farcaster?
Oh, absolutely. So I don't think my profile, Nounish Prof, would have any value without the value that I've created on the social graph, for sure. However, I think there are big brands that have already developed that value elsewhere. So their FID could be seen as valuable. So Nike, for example, or Starbucks or somebody like that. So that's what I mean by like, I don't totally agree with him because I think there is other value that's being created outside of Farcaster that may add value to a profile. But beyond that, for like normal human, obviously the FID is going to depend. I do agree with it for sure. Like my, just having Nounish Prof is not going to do anything for you without what I've built up behind it. So
exactly.
So try and steal it. Go ahead. You can't do what I do.
Right. I mean, that's it. What's in a brand? What's in a name?
Yeah.
There's some
Shakespearean
wisdom.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. A rose by any other, right? Yeah, for sure. So Dan, we kind of agree. Yeah, we agree. This is also super helpful, also from Dan. BTW, I've been keeping a list of common questions, feedback about Farcaster that I start as cast replies and then save them as unedited mini essays on Paragraph. Okay. So that's interesting. So on hubs, composer actions, why don't you clean up the bots? Dan, so this is pretty cool. So I think we can just go here now and find all of them. Longer form, lightly edited takes. So there we go. So this is super useful. I did grab this and put it in our little saved cast channel, by the way, for us. We have a little Discord where we keep all these things, and we do keep some special ones in a special place, just if we need to go back to them. So for example, special ones being like Mole and Wow Wow. That's what we mean. Like, you'd be surprised how often we go back to those.
Yeah. How many opportunity for another clients? I mean, how many times has Dan explained himself on the feed where he's like, maybe an FAQ, maybe I'll write this down on a web page that I can point to. Someone
else
probably 10,000 times.
Yeah, at least. at least. I loved this from Debbie Benz. The last 3 months, I've been part of organizing 3 hackathons and looked at almost 2,000 projects building on base. I want to share the single most impactful skill I've seen that separate ones that are highly likely to succeed from those that face challenges getting users. Building community. Being skillful at building community enables projects to find and talk to users, iterate quickly, build something they want. Building community is not marketing. It is not social amplification. It is not spending money. It's spending time. It's every day going out into the digital streets and IRL ones too, finding people one by one, then few by few, and so on, who want to come back to a Discord, a Farcaster channel, or a Telegram and believe in what a builder says is being built. And here's the thing, anyone can become skillful at building community, but the only way to get better at it is to do it every day. To fail with some folks and to succeed with others, to do it over and over again without relent. The best community builders are often ones that have failed the most because failure is the engine that has driven them to find different ways to succeed. Okay, so that just super resonated with me, obviously. So this is something that we've definitely done and focused on. And, you know, when we're talking in the background, a lot of times we talk about we need to build the community first. Without, you know, people refer to you all as an audience. Occasionally we use that word for other people, but really we think of you as a community, a GM Farcaster community, which is like a subset of Farcaster. We do consider everybody in Farcaster part of the community, but there's a core. There's a core that's really GM Farcaster people. You know who you are. You're in the chat right now. You know who you are. So like that has been, I think, our biggest focus. And I think it's definitely the best way for us to build, for sure. And for most people to build, I would say. And I thought this like really resonated, that he's looked at 2,000 hackathon applications and that's what stood out. That was really surprising to me. So thoughts, Adrian? No notes? Or do I lose you again? Did I lose your audio? Oh my God. Is her audio again? Off again?
No, I'm here.
There you are.
I'm sorry. What the heck today?
We're professionals.
We've been doing this
for almost doing this a year.
It's total amateur hour. I'm really fidgety today, and on my microphone there's a little mute button, so I just keep hitting it.
Oh, that's funny. Oh, that's what it was. I've done that before and thought it was the other person when I couldn't. Thought it was your problem.
Yes.
Yeah. A couple times.
But here's going to community. It's all good because everyone listening, we're just friends. We're just imperfect people in a community.
We're so imperfect.
Samantha casted this morning about her candle business, Humankind, and how she shipped the tea lights and they were all dented and she was devastated, and how many people were like, you know what, it's cool. And I got those. I was like, not only was it cool, I loved that they were dented because it felt so authentic. And I know Samantha, so maybe you guys love when I F up online and can't figure out the mute button. Maybe not.
I think it's like more relatable. So, you know, if you look at sort of what's happening right now in politics, and this is the 1 second politics mentioned, I'm not even going to mention specifics. You can see that there are people who are like, oh, you're relatable. I'm feeling that right now. Like it's I don't know, people like that. So when you mess up, it's just more relatable. And that's how we fix things. And I think it goes back to another one of my favorite casts that are in the Save Cast channel, the shitty version. Doing the shitty version every day consistently and improving each day. Like we're never going to be perfect. Like it's just not going to happen. So I think that actually
Anyway, Adrian, and going back to W. Ben's cat.
Oh, we love you guys. And it's not even a night show. Yeah, no, it's not. This is morning and we still mess up this much. It's pretty funny. All right, moving on. A couple more things, but I really love this. So thank you, W. Benz. I know there's probably a better way to say that name, but I'm going to stick with W. Benz.
No, I think it's W. Benz.
Okay.
I think that's the official pronunciation.
Okay. We have a few other
can
fun.
correct us if we're wrong.
Yeah, please correct us if we're wrong. A few other fun things happening. Introducing the Sunnies, a super chain-wide awards ceremony with 540K OP in prizes to round out on-chain summer. Built by the community for the community. So I'm really excited about this. I believe, I don't know if it's official. I don't even know if we can say this, but I believe we're going to be helping with the broadcast of when these are awarded. So that's what I've been told by Chris Corella. So I believe that's going to be happening. But this is going to be really cool. So here's how you can enter. Go check out this cast. We will have it in our show notes as well, or just go to @optimism on Warpcast and you'll see this. So visit the Sunny Award site, follow step-by-step instructions to claim your one-of-one ticket, share your ticket and numbers here when you do. And I still haven't done that, so I need to do that. Also want to give a shout out to Raven50mm, who is awesome. Met him at Basecamp. And this is really fun. So great job. I'm excited. Are you excited?
I'm so excited. I'm excited. Very excited. Did you watch Raven's video?
I did. I did. Yeah. Okay. So good. So good. So he did a great job on that.
Parts. Yeah, I thought the two cool parts were, one, the awards are actually going to be based on on-chain activity, not necessarily kind of voting by your friends, which is super cool. And then there's also, we're definitely going to be involved, by the way. Let's just put that out. We'll be doing something. But he said they're looking for people to, what did he call it? Like, not host the awards, but sponsor the awards, or brought to you by. And he called it, and does not necessarily cost money to do so. So if you want to get involved as like a sponsor of an award, you can check that out as well.
And I believe that's what we are doing. Like, we're going to be the sponsors of one of the awards, and then we're also going to be presenting it. I think this is all in theory, but yes, I believe that's what's happening.
On-chain media presented by GM Farcaster.
That's us.
Something.
We just said it. Excited about it. So it's going to be really fun. Looking forward to it. And thank you all for everybody who is working on this. And shout out Chris Corella, who I know has been working really hard in the background for this. And speaking of Chris Corella, he just wrote a primer on the smart contracts that make us a DAO for Purple. So how Purple works. And so if you want to learn a little bit more about Purple or about any of the Nounish DAOs, really, because this will apply to all of them, you can go check this out. But I know we were talking with Peachy last Friday about Purple and realizing there's a lot of folks who don't really know as much about Purple as they used to, just because the ecosystem just got really big. So there's a lot more going on. Back in the day, it was the only thing happening. So everybody knew about Purple. So it's good to see some more info going out here if you want to learn more. And this from Adrian: who are the best brand accounts, channels, and users on Farcaster? The awesome folks at Snickerdoodle are working on a little research report and would love your input. So this is from Ilaz. Launching a report on Farcaster for marketers and brands. I'm working on a report to help marketers and brands leverage Farcaster. Comment below with any accounts, users, channels, or brands that should be featured. Your input is invaluable. Thanks for your help. And I will tell you that I got a little sneak peek at some of the data that they're putting together for this report, and it's really, really cool. Like, I like things like that. I always find them really interesting. There's always things that you didn't expect in there. So I'm really looking forward to seeing it all come together. They're doing a few more different surveys to try and capture as much info as possible. And the idea behind this is to bring more like traditional Web 2 type brands into Web 3. So this is pretty cool. And I'm excited. So go, if you have recommend there that should be checking this out, please drop it there.
I wonder how people feel about Web 2 brands coming to Farcaster. So let me know in the chat or on the feed. I I think like knee jerk is like, ew, we don't like brands, but also grow the GDP of Farcaster other ways beyond speculation. And I think I'm open to it.
Yeah,
I think
definitely.
I think it's a good thing.
Yeah. Oh, that's funny. If it's, you do it. Oh, that's so funny. If it's Duolingo, I am here for it. That would be actually very gettable, I think, because you know what? Quack just did like a little collab with Duolingo, and Quack is a Web3 type of brand. So yeah, so maybe there's something there. That's interesting.
And the problem is like how we just don't we don't like ads.
We don't like ads in the traditional sense, but here's my question to everybody. Have you ever seen an ad in your social media feed and bought something? I definitely have, like that I would not have even seen otherwise. So that's the one thing I always wonder. But at the same rate, do I like it when I go to a website to read something and it's just like pop, 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 and it ruins the complete experience? And do I immediately just leave? Yes. Also, yes. Also, yes. So I think there are
2 things can be true.
2 things can be true. Both things can be true. I do think it does. I think there has to be, a mindful, demure approach to ads, if you will.
On the Duolingo, I think the funny thing is like how many people are building like Duolingo, but on crypto. So it'll be interesting to see all the traditional brands come in and battle against the crypto native versions. Toastbasers.
Definitely. That's a really good point, right? Toastbasers, the Aranet, we've seen people be influenced not on purpose, like not via ads, but more by conversation. And it does work, right? If you see something within your feed that other people are using, there's a good chance that you're going to buy it. Just because, Kia then may send you a Toastbaser coin or something. No, that's not why.
So, right. And this is actually one thing Snickerdoodle is doing. I mean, I do not like object advertising. And it's like,
I don't,
ew, right? But one thing that, but it's like advertising's everywhere, like literally everywhere. But one thing Snickerdoodle does is they have a frame with the idea of there is advertising dollars everywhere. People want to, especially in social media, it's an attention game. People want to pay for your attention. So is there a way to spread out the advertising revenue in a more equitable model in the world of social media when you have things like on-chain identity and things that can be, coded, if you will, with algorithms? Snickerdoodle has a frame that lets the advertising revenue come in and get split between the person who's watching the ad. So if you kind of can click through a frame, you can get, I think they're doing it with DGen, but let's assume there's other tokens in the future, but lets you get a share of the revenue as well as whoever shares the ad, if you're kind of spreading the message. So
just imagine if Peckers had a frame with her Toastbaser in it that she was recommending. Like, holy crap. Like she would have made a bundle. Yeah. So I think there's good ways to do it and annoying ways to do it. And I also look at it from the perspective of a brand also, and somebody who's building a business on Farcaster. Sometimes you need to cut through attention, cut through the noise to grab attention. And like anything that helps with that, I think is great. Especially if you can target it to people who you think actually might be interested and not bug people who aren't. So, but we'll see. We'll see how it all goes down. A couple more quick things before we wrap. Just when I thought we were going to have a short day. Oh, well. This from Rachel Wilkins. Thrilled to share that HALP is about to wrap our first ever accelerator. We worked closely with 20 inspiring causes from around the world. Our mission, leveling the playing field in crypto fundraising. Winners will be announced soon with the support of expert jurors from Time, MasterCard, and Chopra Foundation. So this was for part of On-Chain Summer, and they're working with nonprofits, by the way. So this is for nonprofits that they're onboarding them into Farcaster and into Web3 for a different approach to fundraising for the nonprofits. So pretty amazing. Great work. This is Rachel and Breadcat. Amazing job. And then lastly, from Horsefacts, new on Explore apps, Interface, Cattown, Jeeves, Nouns Esports, Kiwi News, Blockbeat Asia, FarQuest, Stream, which is an interesting one, BRND, NEGEND, I never know how to say that one, and Answer Social, Actions Story by Steven Sill, Colorful by JTGI, Search and Quote by Boy. So some other new fun things in Explore. You know what's not in there yet, Adrian? You know what's not in there yet?
I've not seen a category for media yet. Is that what we're going to say? Not yet.
Yeah, not yet, but we'll get there. Oh, that's funny.
Are you insulted?
Yeah, noun profits. Yeah, we already do that though. I'm not insulted, but we'd like to see media category. So, you know, if you'd also like to see that, you know, maybe just shout it out in the timeline. I really think we just need to build a frame, which we've been building anyway, like our GM Farcaster is building anyway, but we'd really just like a category for media that just has links to all our stuff. But
all right, hot take, we don't need a frame. No,
I know.
I think it's a quick way to hack into getting on the Explore tab. But the truth is, if a frame is good for people who are like, if there's a unique, novel way that we need a frame and it's going to let us communicate, like, I don't know, connect with community easier or get across our message better, great. But I don't know. I feel like
you keep advocating for just
a show.
Yeah, keep doing it. Yeah, keep advocating for just a media category. I think that would be better. But also, you know, maybe we just throw it in a frame with everybody. I mean, like a media frame, an on-chain media frame kind of thing, so that it's not just, but we don't need a frame. How else are you farming your Moxie? Yeah, this is true. But we do need, so hopefully you'll see a media category. We're working on it. Others are working on it. We're all trying. So hopefully we'd love to see that.
To be clear, while it might be a little self-serving, it really is because I see people, like, we're slowly building an audience over a year. But it is because I've heard feedback from people on the timeline that say, like, oh, I just found you. It's kind of like, how do people find our show? How do people find? And we have our show, but there's so much Farcaster specific and Farcaster native media. So you have people doing taverns and podcasts and shows, and all of us losers who spend our time on Farcaster like want to spend our free time listening to other people talk about Farcaster, because there's might be something wrong with us. But
probably not a cult. Probably not. Probably not a cult. But I do think it is also helpful to those who are new to Farcaster. It helps them get acclimated. It helps them figure out what the heck's going on, regardless of which one I'm talking, you know, like could be any of them, like many such cases. Okay, Banger. Humpty does spaces with Crypto Sapiens and streams. Peachy does a bunch of great spaces with, you know, her communities. And so Late Night Crew, there's a lot of really good media that's happening that can help people learn more about Farcaster, feel like a part of. I think that's the bigger piece here. So going back to community and WBENS, that's what it is, really, is like, that's how you build community, is making people feel a part of it and feeling like there is a place where they fit and they found their people. And that's what media does. You're not going to get that from some of these other frames and composer actions, because they're not going to know what it is. We're going to be the ones who tell them about it. So there you go. Anyway, and rant.
Anyway.
And with that, friends, this has been such a happy Friday. Appreciate you all popping in, and we hope you have a wonderful weekend. We will be back.
Before we close, you always ask me if we've forgotten something, and I never have anything to add, but I do today.
What is it?
If that's okay. Do we have time for an audience question?
Sure.
Because I think we are.
Is it about fruit? No.
It's not about fruit. I promise it's not about fruit. No, because I think we are actually reaching new audience recently.
Great.
And as more and more people come to Farcaster, we forget sometimes there are questions. So when we were talking about the FID and the identity.
Oh, I totally missed this. Great.
Yeah, Donce had a question. I have a question. I thought FID just shows when you joined Farcaster, but I heard it has more meaning to it. Do you know anything about it? So I thought maybe we could help answer that question if we have time.
Yeah, go ahead.
So your FID is your Farcaster ID. It's a serial number that you get. It is on chain. You do own it. There is, let's say, fake clout with having a low FID. It does not matter what your FID is. It's just a number. It doesn't matter. It's a unique identifier that points to your person. And there really is that. There is no meaning to an FID. It's just your name. You can attach a Farcaster username to it. That's what you see as your display name. You don't actually own your display name. That you own your FID. I don't think you own your display name. You can attach. Yeah, I think you can attach an ENS though. Yeah. Yes, but you can attach an ENS
that you do
to your FID, in which case then you fully own your display name and your identity. And all the FID is then it just enables you to build your social graph. So who you're following and kind of who follows you and what the social connections are on the part of the Farcaster protocol.
Yeah.
Not
take that FID with you to other clients as well. So if you're going over to Supercast or one of the other Farcaster clients, you take that FID with you so you don't have to set up another new account and another new account and another new account. And you take your audience with you, your followers, your social graph with you. So that's the really important part of the decentralized way that this protocol works. And that's why it's a protocol. Great question. So thank you. Thank you very much, Dan. Anything else? Anything else that I may have missed? Because I totally missed that one. So that was a good one.
Just a very chatty chat per usual on a Friday. And we hope everybody has a great weekend and glad to see you all. And
so somebody just asked this question too. Unrelated question. Does anyone else have problem buying warps? I've bought warps many times, but now I don't get the email that says you bought warps. I think they may have, just as long as your warps are in there, I think maybe they're just not sending you the email anymore to buy them.
What happens when you want to buy warps, I think, is it sends you a link. So you don't actually buy online. Like you say, I want to buy warps, and it says, okay, we're going to send you an email with a link to Coinbase Commerce.
Yeah. I think think it's because if you go to just on laptop, it will bring you directly there. If you do it on mobile, that's what it does. I think that's why.
Yeah. So if you're on mobile, try your PC maybe.
Yeah. I think that's what it is. All right. And with that, we're going to call it. But thanks, everybody. Happy Friday. Have a good one. And we will see you on Monday, 8:30 a.m. back again. And I don't think we have anything particularly special on Monday, but you never know. We'll figure out something. And with that, we will say bye-bye, everybody.